So welcome everyone. Welcome to the sessions. In today's session, we wanted to just share our knowledge about system landscape. Whenever we talk about a system landscape in any implementation project or any support project or any rollout project, you consider any type of project in SAP. So we need to understand what is current system landscape, what exactly happens in each and every system, or as a consultant, if I want to perform certain activities, where should I perform? What system is allowed? What systems are not allowed? As a consultant, we should be aware. And also, we should have a clarity if I want to perform certain testings, where should I perform? If there are production activities happening, how to perform those and where to perform that. Let's understand that in today's agenda, what do we have? So if you look into it, the major agenda for us to understand today is the system landscape in both your on-premises versions and also in a cloud versions. We also familiar with the versions of SAP, right? There are multiple versions of it. SAP provides on-premises version where we launch all the SAP product on our own hardware. So that is our on-premises. The cloud where it doesn't require for you to maintain any physical infrastructure on your own. Someone else will maintain it. You just pay for it in a rental basis so that it will be posted everything on a cloud. You just log in just like you log in to your any other on-prem or cloud accounts, just like your Google Drive or Amazon Web Services, whatever we use it, right? So it will be hosted on a cloud, which is again public and private cloud. That's another topic for us to discuss. Let's don't digress from here and let's understand. There are two things which we need to understand on-premises and cloud version. How is the system landscape in on-premises? How is the system landscape in cloud versions? Let us get understand about it. So when we move further on-premises particularly, we call this the R3 landscape. So your three-tier architecture, how it looks like. Let us look into that. Whenever you talk about it, the first system always we talk about development system. So what is development system? So what we exactly do in a development system. So whenever we wanted to perform any new configurations in SAP, we know that we perform configurations. Whenever you want to perform the configurations, first system that we get access is a development system. As name suggests, this is a system where you can do all changes that is required as per business requirement. With that intent, we also call this system as modifiable system. In our entire landscape, this is the only system which is a modifiable, which means you make changes as per business requirement. Whenever there is a business requirement, you wanted to make some changes, use your modifiable system. In a in your development system, it is again subdivided into a multiple clients. The development whole development system, you call it as a development server. In that server, you can have a multiple clients. One client is used for certain activities, other client is used for certain activities. At least you will have a 2 to 3 clients. So minimum is a 2 clients which you can expect. Let's say the first one is a development client, you call it. In a development client, what do we do it? And in development client, particularly whenever you wanted to do all the ABAP related changes, the program related changes, all that development is done in your development system. The other system is called your customizing system. Whenever we talk about customizing system, whenever you wanted to perform various customizations of the program, various sub-module configurations you want to do it, you perform all that. So without any code changes, the development requires all the code changes. Your customization is a straight away without any code changes, straight away standard solutions that you implement. So in nutshell, if you want to understand, we use development system for both configurations and also for a custom development activities. Let us understand little more about this development system. What else as a consultant we will be performing it. So when you talk about development activities, what are the actual activities performed by consultants? Let's look into those activities. Everybody aware about SPRO screen? What is SPRO screen? We know the SPRO screen where we perform all configuration activities. You navigate through SPRO and IMG. So in case you wanted to know, this is how your IMG SPRO screen looks like, where you will have a paths, and this is the SPRO screen access given to consultants. Your business users will not get access to your SPRO screens because in this system, the development system, we will have SPRO screen, whereas in production system, we disable all SPRO screens because your business user no need to look into the customizations or they no need to perform any customization. All they are going to use for their business purpose. This is your SPRO configurations. We execute all the configurations, we perform all the settings changes that we wanted to do it. And we also customize tax related stuff and payment related stuff and posting related settings, whatever the settings that require for a business users to post, we are going to maintain all of them. And we also develop custom ABAP objects. What is ABAP objects? There will be a lot of ABAP objects like implementing your BAPIs, BADIs, and lot of stuff. Whenever you wanted to implement, all of them you develop using your development system. As a part of your development activities, we perform them in development system. Something new that you wanted to develop. Currently, there is a one BAPI available. Now you wanted to customize that BAPI. You wanted to create a new BAPI. Either it can be creation of new thing or it can be customizing the existing one. Both will use it. Okay. And then you will also use for an enhancement whenever you want to perform certain enhancements. It's a part of your rise of objects. And also non-rise of objects also there is a lot of enhancements that we do it. So we implement enhancements and the baddies. And we need to create some custom Fury applications. Whenever you talk about S4HANA cloud version, it's purely Fury application. It's a based on Fury application. You look into any S4HANA project, it contains Fury applications where business users will be purely working on Fury application. As part of S4HANA system, as a consultant, maybe FI consultant may not do all this Fury apps development, but I'm talking whole about any functional module consultant. It not only just for a FI. For any consultant, if they wanted to perform, they will be performing or they will be creating custom applications relevant to their modules. There is a dedicated consultants for a Fury particularly. These consultants will develop all the Fury related applications also. And we'll talk about whenever you wanted to develop anything, something new, and you wanted to test related to RISE-UP objects. It can be any object from RISE-UP. The RISE-UP stands for, anybody knows what is RISE-UP, full form of RISE-UP? WRICEF. Each letter denotes a separate object. Somebody wanted to give a try?
Workflow, reports, interfaces, conversions, enhancements, and forms.
Perfect. So whenever we talk about RISE-UP, these are multiple objects as a part of your new implementation projects, or whether it is in a support project, depending on a business requirement, we receive a requirement. The same requirement will be analyzed and identified a proper object from RISE-UP objects, which one to implement. So based on that, as a consultant, we are going to prepare functional specification document, write a logic in your functional specification document, and work with your ABAPer based on your FST. Your ABAPer will understand your requirement and will do a program changes in a backend, whatever is required based on the requirement. Then you perform all those testings, whatever they performed, the changes, you need to perform testing in a development system, whether the same thing is working or not. So that's about your quick to know RISE-UP objects. And also you will build various analytical CDS views. What is CDS views? If you talk about S4HANA system, majority of the tables has been now removed from S4HANA. So many tables were there in ECC earlier. Now most of them has been replaced with universal journal. What is that universal journal table name? Anybody aware about universal journal?
It's AC Doka.
AC Doka is your universal journal. Whenever you talk about AC Doka, this is the table where all the data gets recorded. The CDS views, there are compatible display only views available. Whenever you wanted to create some more CDS views, so you will be able to do that in a development system. These are at a high level for you to understand, along with where you manage transport requests. You manage all the transport requests in your system, and whenever you have this, whenever you wanted to perform any transport request to move into the next system, you need to make sure how they have been organized and how to move them. Everything you will plan from your development system. That's the core activities we perform in development system as a part of our system landscape. The next system, whenever you complete all this, what happens? That let's understand in a next system. The next system is your quality system, which you also call it as a QAS. Whenever we say QAS, that is your quality system. This is non-modifiable system, whereas your development system was a modifiable. This is a non-modifiable, which means we can't make any changes directly in quality system, where we also don't recommend to make any changes in quality system. Whenever we are doing something in a quality system and you feel that is not configured accordingly, you don't make changes straight away there. You go back to your development system, make those changes and bring the changes or move those changes into quality system. Then you perform the testing. So now what we do, the major activities in quality system, just like a production system, quality also we will have multiple clients to make sure all the activities we can perform in a better manner. So majorly we use this quality system to perform various testings. So you will have quality system 1, QS1, and also QS2 in case you wanted to have a proper segregation of everything. And you will have a multiple systems, and in that you will be performing various testings on the configurations that we have done, or any customizations that we have done, or any new developments that we have done. Each and everything will be tested here after transporting all the configuration from development to quality system. You move all the configurations from development to quality, and then you perform all those testings here. We also call it as a QA. You perform QA in quality system and make sure everything is working fine. Only then you will release all those configurations into production system. And you perform various other testings, and also you will use this quality system for training purposes. Whenever you want to perform various trainings to your end users or business users, you will use this quality system. And what else you do in this system? You will ensure the system configurations are working as expected. Then you will move this to the production. Let's understand few more activities that we do in your test systems. So particularly whenever you talk about test system, particularly you do the testing of all the configuration that we have done from development system. Whatever you read in a development system, we need to test each and everything here. Then you also need to make sure once you import all that configuration here and you perform the testing on various developments that you have done, either it can be ABAP program changes happened, or any interfaces that we have built, or any Fury applications that we have created, everything you need to make sure they are working as expected. Only when it is completed, only when the testings are completed and it is satisfied, then we'll move to the production system. So, and we will also perform integration testing. What is integration testing? Where you perform end-to-end testing with various other modules. Let's say we are working as a FICO consultant. Now I wanted to know what else other configurations happened in SD module and MM module, PP module, PS module, PM module, inventory management module, all other modules, right? So wherever there is an impact in our module, I need to make sure I'll test with certain scenarios whether this is working fine or not. So that is the another thing which we do in our quality system in the form of integration testing. And also we'll perform UATs. We ask our business users or end users to perform UAT to make sure everything is working as per their expectation. And we will also perform regression testing and system integration, regression, all these are performed here, including your validating workflows, various roles and authorizations are working or not. Everything is tested. Not only the transactions you are able to post or not, we'll check the roles and authorizations as well, along with workflows wherever we design. And also we'll do the mock data runs. Whenever you are implementing a new SAP, suddenly there will be a huge data in their legacy system that you need to make sure you perform mock runs in test system, whether it is working fine or not, are there any issues. First you verify here using your migration cockpit or using LSMW or any other interface methods, whatever you wanted to use it, you can use depending on size of data and your level of comfort. You can choose one of those objects, either one of those techniques and perform data migration. That is a trial run, you do it in quality system. When it is successful, so you do the same thing in production system one more time, or you ask your business users to do the same thing by providing necessary authorizations. Now what we will do, so in quality system, when I perform, if I find any issues, then we'll correct them in a development system and move those changes to the quality system and redo that one more time. Now, once you're done with that, you will also make sure performance testing you perform. Why we need to perform performance testing? Whenever you are doing it, there might be a speed issues, right? Whenever there is, whenever you are trying to access certain programs or a Fury application, or whenever you wanted to fetch huge data, system may not be able to perform in a fast manner. That performance speed also you test it, how quickly it is responding. Everything will check it and will provide a clean system to our business users. Otherwise, what happens, your business users may not be happy when you provide a faulty system, right? To make sure everything is working fine as expected, we'll make sure we prepare various test cases, or you call it as a test scripts. You prepare a test script. What is test script? A step-by-step testing procedure that you prepare to test various scenarios. You prepare a test scripts and you perform the test, perform testing in a system and document all those evidences. So that is your overall test system, that why we use it in our system landscape. We do all the development activities in your development server. Once you're done with that, you are testing everything in quality system. And then what happens? You also, whenever you find any issues in a quality system itself, then you will log issues and will also resolve all of them by reworking through a development, right? This is the major activities we perform in test systems. Once we're done with that, all these testing activities, so you need to make sure all those we have tested has been, all the configurations is approved in the form of transport request. All the transports are approved by your business users and also your manager of implementation partner. Then only then you move that to your production system. Now let's look into a bit of production system, how it looks like, what are the main core activities we perform in production system. Whenever we talk about production system, this is non-modifiable system again, where your business users will be using purely for a day-to-day business activities. Whenever we say day-to-day business activities, so whenever your business wanted to perform certain live activities to post or transactions or extract certain reports for various things, they use this production system, right? So they use particularly, majorly will have only one single system in a production, and that system is used for all your actual business operations. And all the tested and approved configurations from your quality system, only those things will be moved from development system, and only such approved things will be used in production system. Non-approved stuff will not be used in production system to make sure we will not get into any risks. So each and everything has to be tested and approved prior to moving it to the production system. what if there is any issues in a production system? We'll talk about that as well. How do we deal with that? And let's understand more of what else we do in a production system. Particularly when I say in production system, we run our day-to-day business transactions like posting your journal entries or any invoice postings or any other stuff. And also we use for a live master data and transaction data updation. Whenever you want to create your customer master, vendor master, bank master, or any material master, fixed asset master data, all those master data and relevant transactional data will maintain in production system. And also we monitor all the business operations using our standard or various custom reports, how well we are doing the business. And they will assess by looking into various reports. This is purely for business decisions used by business users. And we will also perform various period close activities, which is helpful for to prepare your external financial reports. And also we perform various automatic payment runs and dunnings and also asset depreciation runs, various activities we perform it here. We don't do these things either in a development or a quality system. Purely we perform this in a production system. And we'll also monitor the entire system overall with the help of either Solman, which is a solution manager, or a job monitoring tools in SAP, or by configuring alerts. When something goes wrong, system will automatically trigger an alert. Based on that, respective consultants will be alerted. They will work upon that. So we'll also manage various authorizations, roles, and user creations, whatever required. We straight away create them in production system. You as a FI consultant, we may not be able to do it, or we may not be doing it. The respective consultants will be doing it. And we'll also transport and activate all the approved changes in production system. Only the approved changes will transport it to production system. Otherwise, if it is not approved, we don't even move that into production system. And we will also perform various audit and compliance checks as part of the business requirement. And we will also handle support tickets and incident management from your production system, where we will raise various support tickets wherever there is some issue in a production system. So the overall, if it is a production system issue, how do we deal with that? Where does it is resolved? Let's look into that. Let's quickly summarize the all three systems that we spoke about it, right? Your development system is a modifiable system. We perform all development and customizing activities. From there, it will move to your quality system. In quality system, we perform various testings, and upon successful testing and satisfaction, we move all the configuration into a production system. This is the cycle generally happens in any system landscape that we talk about. Now, whenever you find any issues or you find any defects in production system, prod is your production system. What do we do? How do we deal with that? So can we directly fix it in production system? So generally we don't do that. We can't do that, or we don't recommend to do that in production system. There are various reasons why we don't do it. So for now, let's understand where do I do it. So when it is not possible, or we don't recommend to do it in production system, this is my system landscape. How does it flows? It flows from your production system to development system again for any configuration changes or any customizations required or any small settings required to be changed. Then it will move to your quality system again. In the quality system, as usual, the cycle continues from development system, how it flows. Then we will perform. One second, I'll just reshare my screen. For some reason, it got disconnected. Okay, so whenever we talk about this, we're done with that system that we spoke. One second, so I think it got. Okay, from production system, we spoke about this cycle, and we are talking about whenever there is any issue identified, the same cycle follows from development system to quality, from quality to your production system. So that's what it happens in generic way. So always any changes identified by business users that has to come to your development system and perform those changes required, then move to quality and then to the production system. The same cycle repeats again and again whenever there is any change. Now let's understand a bit about how architecture looks like in your cloud versions. We spoke about this in on-premises versions majorly. Now, when you talk about cloud versions, this is how it looks like. So here also in your development system, more or less, you will have the same thing. So where you will have a development client and you will also have customizing client. So all these clients will receive all the configuration from your CBC, SAP CBC, where central business configuration happens in a central development workspaces. And from this workspaces, it will be deployed to your development system first. From there, we export and to one central place. From there, it will be imported to your test system wherever you require. So, whereas it is more or less, it happens in same way what we understood earlier, but only thing is all the cloud things happens in a directly in a cloud or separate workspaces, then it will be moved to our respective dedicated development clients. And we don't directly do in our development client, it happens everything in the workspaces. From there, it moves to your cloud servers. From there, we'll import to our test system as usual to perform various testings that you call it as a test tenant. Then you once successful completion, again it will move to your central place where you do this. From here again, you will import to your production system. Tenant is our client or a system. This is how it happens whenever you wanted to perform or whenever you wanted to understand your cloud servers or a cloud system architecture looks like. So that's a quick about for you to understand your system landscape. So with that, I'll just stop here and I'll open this forum for you guys to ask any questions if you have any, so that I can help you guys.
Hi, Nitin.
Yeah.
Hi, Nitin. Hi, very good morning. Thanks for sharing the details. I have one quick question. In the cloud versions, we have two kind of versions, right? One is public, as you mentioned,
Right.
and another one is private. Also, it is there, right?
Right.
So, is there any major differences between public and private cloud versions? Can you just brief us?
One major difference for us to understand or a note here is the particularly whenever we talk about public cloud, let's say public is something like, as the name suggests, multiple businesses will opt for a single cloud. In a same cloud, everything will be hosted whenever you say the single cloud. So let's say you and I both use same Google Drive, whereas I also
Yes.
have access to Google Drive, you also has a Google Drive access, but you log in with your credentials. I will also log in with my credentials. But both of our data is saved in a central data where you may not be able to access my data unless I grant access to you. So if it is a private space, you completely own your space. Nobody will be
belongs
shared.
to one person.
It is not a shared database. When we say shared database, people may get confused. The data is shared with same multiple people. No, again, there is a restriction in terms of access where you will not have the direct access by other organizations. But only thing is to save the cost where it will be hosted on a public clouds. Public clouds comparatively little less expensive, where private cloud is a dedicated server for yourself, it will be little expensive. Those depending on organization, how much budget they have, what kind of data they are holding. Somebody feels that I don't want to keep my data on a public cloud. So I'm okay with spending little extra money. Let me have a dedicated servers. People will go for it. That's a major difference to understand. Deployment wise, deployment wise, it will be the same, whatever we use in public cloud.
Okay. Yeah. So one quick question. Sure. In case you wanted to enhance anything in the cloud versions, is it again chargeable by SAP or how it will be?
Enhance in the sense like what? Maybe can you elaborate?
So if you wanted to develop or customize any rise of objects, let us
Right.
assume some. So in that case, how cloud work?
Majorly, what happens whenever you wanted to have your own customizations, obviously each and every customization is a chargeable. So what happens in generic on-premises versions, we will have our in-house consultants or we will have an implementation partner
Yeah.
who will be doing it. Majority of the cloud projects, what happens, they will have SAP dedicated consultants who will be working on those directly there will be a consultants involved from SAP side as well. So for that, they will charge on based on a request. So how long it takes, everything they will estimate it based on the estimation. They will
Based on the time frame.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome. Any other questions from anyone? In case you guys wanted to receive this deck, I'll send it across with all the participants who ever registered with the registered email IDs. Okay. Somebody in case who is looking for a further in-depth knowledge about various topics or overall entire course, feel free to register using this QR code where we will be covering the complete course in terms of end-to-end implementation, a rollout project, and also a support project, including how do you perform various rise of objects, and everything will be covered in our trainings. Okay, so that's all I had from my side. Thank you so much, everyone, for registering, and I'll encourage
Thanks,
you
Nathan.
guys to register for upcoming sessions
If you're
wherever
gonna
happening.
share this deck, if
Yeah.
you're gonna share this deck, maybe I would request you to add some more points about cloud systems and all. That should
Okay.
be really helpful for us.
Sure, I'll try to add it a few more points, and I will try to
Yeah.
share with additional
Thank you.
points.
Thank you. Thank you very much
Sure.
for this wonderful session.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for joining this weekend evening. So have a rest of the day, happy weekend, and see you again in other sessions. Thank you so much.